And now we're going to get this show on the road. Right now, as I speak, I have 3 questions for county commission candidates. If you have any questions for the county commissioners, which we're about to start with, now is the time to write down your question and give them to Cindy, and she will give them to me. This is Shawn Henderson, and what he's going to do is give a opening statement, and then he'll pass the microphone to Craig Bryant, who will also give an opening statement, and then we'll begin with the question. Okay, Shawn.
Hey, good evening. Appreciate everyone being here. It's a great turnout. I want to thank most of all my wife and my 5 kids who are here, and my mom who showed up, and everyone else. I want to run as your county commissioner this year for 3 main reasons. When I go around and talk to people, they're like, why in the world do you want to do this? So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. And the first one is transparency. And now let me begin by saying, when I say that, I don't mean the current commissioners are not transparent, and I'm not saying that you're trying to hide anything, because I don't believe that. What I mean is I want to just find new ways to put what we're doing out there. That's all I mean by that. I want you to know what's going on ahead of time, and I want to find the right ways to do that. So that's what I mean when I say being transparent. Next, to serve the citizens of White County. I personally believe in term limits. I think once you're in for a certain amount of time, it's time for somebody else to have the opportunity to serve. That's one of the things I'm running on, and it doesn't matter who it is. Our founding fathers only had one office that was meant to be for life, and that's the Supreme Court. And then I want my kids, your kids, and your grandkids to grow up in the same kind of county I did. And what I mean by that is, we had the same values. I want to keep those. The way we treated everybody fairly, and those kind of things. I want to protect the areas that need to be protected so they can enjoy those also. And I want to grow the small businesses, because that's where they'll have jobs. So May 24th, I just appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
I'm going to stand up because I know most of the people in here, but for the ones I don't, I'm Craig Bryant. I am your District 4 County Commissioner right now, and it's been my honor to serve all y'all this is my 14th year, and this is my 5th consecutive election. And I went in this office 14 years ago, standing pretty much in the same place, and my goal, I made 3 promises 14 years ago. My daddy said, don't make promises that you can't fulfill, son. The first one, I'd let you vote on beer and wine, and we did in 03 or 04. 2, I promised I'd let you vote for a 5-man board, and we fulfilled that. And the third promise is I'm not promising you nothing else. So I have fulfilled my promises. And I've, take great pride in this job, because I feel that I am no better than y'all, like y'all know better than me. When you come before me, I don't ask you if you're a Republican or Democrat. It's either yes or no, and it's what I've always told the staff. It's not what you say, but it's how you say. And like I say, it's my tax money that I'm responsible for, just like it is yours. And we have ran a lean ship, and back what Travis said back in 08, when things started getting tough, we had to tighten the belt. And right now, the county is running as smooth as it has in a long time. We've got money in the bank. We're still offering some services. And like I say, I'm not here to promise you nothing other than I'll tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. And I appreciate your vote on 24th again.
Okay, thank you. What we're going to do now, and I still don't have a lot of questions, so I'm just going to start making things up quickly. But what I'm going to do now is ask a question of both gentlemen, and I want to let Craig answer first, and then you answer, then we'll just flip-flop back and forth. So hopefully y'all can remember who answers first each time, because I can't. All right. Can everybody hear okay?
Yes.
All right. And if there's some people that need to sit on the floor and knock somebody out of a chair, then there's a few chairs right up here in the front. Just, feel free to try to find a good, comfortable place. This is a question, and that I will start with Craig, is if you could name one personal quality that you have, what would it be that makes you most qualified for this job as White County Commissioner?
That would be an easy one. It's being able to talk to the people who I'm sitting in front of. I've dealt in public life all my entire life. When I was 9, my father bought Smart Auto Parts down in Cobb County, and I've dealt with the public, like I say, for 46 or 7 years, and I'm a people person. If anybody will tell you, when you run across me, if you ask me a question there again, I'm going to tell you the truth. It may not be what you want to hear, but it'll be the truth. When you leave, you don't have to find another commissioner to ask them the same question to get the answer. So it would be dealing with the public.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Henderson.
I know everybody can give this answer, but this is mine. I'm a Christian foremost, and I believe that Jesus taught us the way to be a servant leader. I'm a servant leader. That means I listen to you, and I try to serve you, and that's the reason I'm running for this election. So that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll start with you to answer first, and then go to Craig. This question is about the alcohol sales in White County. I think the county commission has approved having a referendum this in November. And so I guess the question to both of you is, do you approve, are you for that referendum, or are you against that referendum? Or are you neutral?
Okay, I knew that question was coming. So first of all, personally, I don't drink, so it doesn't affect me either way. And second of all, it's already been decided that it'll be on the ballot in November. So I'm going to support what the people want. I'm not going to cause any problems and go against what the citizens of White County vote on in November.
I'm neutral on this. It doesn't matter what I want. It's what the people of White County wants, and it's always been the policy. Like I said, you elected me to represent you, so it's what the citizens want. And this has come up before. We have talked about this at the commissioner meeting and last year. If any of y'all had come when the city passed it, then we said we was going to look at it, because right now we do have a few service stations and a few restaurants that's being affected by what the city has. So to have a fair ground, we promised them that we would at least let the citizens vote on it. So that'll be up to y'all what y'all decide, whether it's yes or no.
A real cool way for her to introduce me into.
I don't know who goes first next, but you do. Okay. This is let me ask a question, and you can. It's really directed to somebody that's on the commission, but I think you can answer it as well as when you see the question as far as hypothetical. So to you, Craig, what project does the commission have on the drawing board right now that you think is most important?
Well, they're all important, because we're spending. Well, we got a few SPLOST projects. Well, we got the one bridge at the OTP property, and we intend, once we get that put in, then we're going to, start looking for money to try to better the park system up there. That's the one project, in which we have done a lot of good projects over the years that I've been in office. Just across the street at Freedom Park. I know that's not part of the question, but part of the answer. It's been a good project we've done. A lot of people go to that, but I can't think of nothing right off, like I said, other than just that one bridge project that we got going right this particular moment.
Okay. And in your case, what project would you like to see that you think is most important that may not have happened yet, but you would like to see happen?
To me, it's the right now, at this particular time, the Yona Preserve. What are we going to do with that? We got 1,000 acres. And I would just like to see, Craig mentioned maybe improving our park and recs, adding some ball fields over there. 1,000 acres is a lot of property, and we got to see how we can really use that. But I would like to see a fairgrounds or something over there too. Every other county around us has that, and they have stuff come and if you got something like that, it's for citizens of all ages, whether it's kids or adults. I've talked to people a lot. The pickleball's getting big around here, and Towns County's done a lot with that. I would like to see that done. Like Rabun County and some other counties have places they can have rodeos. Even Habersham has a metal building where gun shows and other stuff comes, and all that stuff brings revenue to the county and gives our citizens something to do. So right now, to me, that's the number one project we need to be working on.
Okay, folks, I'm down to 2 cards for the county, and I'm going to give them their due 20 minutes if we have to tap dance. So if y'all want to ask, this is your chance to ask these 2 county commission candidates some questions. Okay, this is a question from someone in the audience. Do you have plans for recreational facilities creating better access for people with disabilities? And we'll let you go first.
That is a great question. As I talked about, I just talked about some of the things I would like to see for recreation and how we can do that. being in the military, I see a lot of my buddies that I knew from Afghanistan and Iraq, and what they've had to do as far as recreation for people that don't have some of their, legs or arms. And, that's not just for military though, but for everybody that does have some kind of physical disability. I think we've already got great programs in place, and I think we can just expand on those. We've had the Special Olympics. We have other sports that they can play, and I just want to see those expanded upon.
I can't add much more to that, but yes, we're right now having our programs examined up there to see what's going on up there and see what we can improve on that. So I can't say much more than what Mr. Henderson said, but we are looking at everything, every option.
Okay. You'll love this question, both of you. Yeah. How do you feel about paving all unpaved county roads? Can this happen?
How high do you want your taxes to go to? I'm trying to think back when I went in office. It seemed like between now and today, you can't hold me to it, but we've paved somewhere between, I want to say 15, maybe 18 miles, 20. I mean, it don't sound much, but the problem is the reality and the truth is that not every road in this county is going to be paved. We've got right now 200 miles of private road that, and it's no disrespect, but nobody calls you on that until it rains for 3 days and you can't get up their driveway. Then they're calling you and wanting you to take over the road. But with the previous road plan that we've got now in place, that can't be done unless it's brought up county standards. And then some of the other roads, we have tar and graveled them. And we've looked at that going from ditch to ditch. And there's a few roads that we've done ditch to ditch. And like I say, if you want your road paved, we'll be glad to talk to you. Like I say, we have really been aggressive on paving roads. And then this SPOS that the audience passed back, a year or two ago, we set aside, I believe it was a little over $5 million to pave roads. So we're aggressively paving what we can and what we got right away. And then the rest, we're going from ditch to ditch.
Yeah, Craig gave a good answer there. It's all about money and how much you have. And what you got to look at. Now, there's a road in our district that a lot of people don't want, so we got to look at that too. If they don't want it paved for one reason or another, we got to listen to the majority of the citizens that live on that road.
Okay, this is a pretty specific question. Why don't we have a playground for the county with swings, slides, things like that?
All I got to say about that is if I get in there, you heard what I said. That's one of the first things I'll work on.
Yes, that is a good question. And I don't have an answer. I know we got our ballparks and we've got a little small one out there, Leaf BP out there, but that's about almost next to nothing. But that is something that I'm open to look at also.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now we go from specific to very broad. Tell us something that you would like to see change in the county. Something pretty big that you would like to see changed in the county. Craig? I think that's you're up. Yeah.
Well, there again, I'm going to go back to my first opening statement. It's not up to me. It's up to y'all sitting in this audience. And it's just suggestions that you give to us is what we implement. Right now, I know there's improvement in all the fields of everything. Of all the offices in the county, and like I say, we're constantly looking at them. But if anybody's got any ideas, my phone number's open. I've had the same number for 20 years, so don't hesitate to call.
Yeah, that is a tough question. As far as change, I've talked about it. I just think we need some more activities out at Yona Preserve. And again, you got to look at the money and what you have. A lot of the stuff I talked about earlier doing out there doesn't really cost a lot of money, so we just need to see if it's there. But that's the main thing that I see.
Okay, I don't have any more questions, so I'm going to just wing it for a time or two. If you think you don't like me winging it, then we've got about 5 more minutes. We will in just a second. We're going to wrap it up, but I do want to. The question of transparency has come up, and of course, being in the newspaper business, we are always interested in governments being transparent with things they do. I would like to ask each candidate, how would you go about making the county government as transparent as you can? Yeah, it's your turn, Chris.
Well, I've thought a lot about that. And I use social media a lot. That's one way to keep people informed of what's going on. But for people that don't have internet access or they choose not to use that, I would like to have a town hall every once in a while and just let people know. I've also talked about moving the county commission meetings to later in the evening where more people can attend. A lot of people can't make it at 4:30 because they work or have other commitments. That's how I would do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much more transparent we can get. Every meeting we've had is listed. I can stand on a stack of Bibles and swear to the Almighty God in the last 14 years I had a secret meeting. And if you call me there again, I'm going to tell you what's went on. I'm not on social media. That's just my choice because of a lot of that on there. People can say anything, and this is the biggest crowd I've seen since we had mountain protection years ago down at the old courthouse. So, and my biggest thing is that people, they don't know what's going on because, like I say, nobody comes to commissioner meeting unless it concerns their subdivision or their road. That's the only time you ever see them. And I wish people would come. And back going to Mr. Henderson's comment on the time I've been in office, we had an 8 o'clock meeting at Bean Creek one time when it was sleet and rain. We've had meetings at 6 o'clock at night. I've had them at 12 during the day, 4:30 at 7. You name it. We've done it over the years. And there again, people do not come unless it concerns them indirectly. And I wish we would. I've always said years ago when we was on WRWH, if you remember back when we always went and talked, if you're not there and you hear it, that's what it is hearsay. You show up, you know what's going on. So I invite everybody to come to a commissioner meeting.
Okay, good answers from both candidates. And now we're going to ask for a wrap up. I think Craig, you go, and then Shawn will end.
Like I said, I've been your commissioner for soon be 14 years, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve. It's been my honor, and I'd love to continue to do it again. Once again, I'm not here to promise you anything except to do what's right as a whole for everyone, and I just appreciate your support next Tuesday.
Yeah. I may have got that backwards, but anyway, you go. I'm sorry. I can't remember who's.
In closing, I'd just like to say I appreciate your vote next Tuesday, May 24th, and any time between now and then, between now and this Friday. Again, I'm not running against Craig. I'm running for the office. And I have some new ideas I think I could bring to the table, some things, that I've thought about. We got the transgender bathroom issue. That's coming to the local level right now. We need to figure out how we're going to address that, right? These are the things we need to look at. Future cybersecurity, and I'm a military intelligence officer, so I see a lot of problems that we're going to have in the future if we don't look at them now. Attacks on the power grid and attacks on your personal identity. If you think that's not coming, it's coming. Even to White County. Microaggression, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's changing a whole generation. And then finally, just, better, I just want to work with our public safety people, the fire department, the sheriff's department, and our public safety director here in the county, and just make sure we're ready for some natural disasters or man-made disasters that could come. So I appreciate your vote next Tuesday, and I thank you all for being here.
Okay, let's give them a big hand.